Mr. Mnatsakanyan. Davit, thank you so much for making the effort to be with us today. We appreciate it.
Pleasure is mine.
I know that we had a little bit of a technical issue to get
Yeah.
this scheduled, but anyways, you're here and we're glad. Before we get started, I would like to give you a little bit of a background about our Glendale Association of Realtors. The fact that we have been around in the city since 1920. David, that's 106 years, probably one of the older, if not one of the oldest organizations in
Organization.
the city. We started with 70 members, and now today we are right around 1,500. Out of the 1,500, we have 1,200 registered voters in the city of Glendale. So you add our families, our friends, our affiliates, associates, we do reach a good portion of the electorate here in the city of Glendale. And this conversation for just based on that matters, that
Okay.
do reach out. We have always contributed. Contribution to our community is part of our DNA. We have had many city council members who are realtors, commissioners, and what have you. And so we are not new to this field of being part of the community and take part in developing for what it can be the best community for all of us here in Glendale. So with those said, I would like to give you a little bit of a rules of this interview for you. You will have 2 minutes for you to introduce yourself, give us an opening statement. After that, we will be starting with our president and other members who are on the call. We are hoping to get to 6 questions today with you. And at the end, you'll have another 2 minutes for you to give us a closing statement. So with that
Okay.
said, David, you have the floor. Please tell us about yourself in your opening statement.
Thank you so much. First, I want to say I'm very happy to be here and thank you for your initiative. Give me the chance to be in front of you and talk about that. Okay, so right from the beginning, I'm 20 years I'm in United States. 10 years I lived in Washington D.C. and 10 years I live here. Since I came to United States, right before that, I graduated law school. I was top in the university. 4 years I was student association president. All my life I've been part of the business. Everywhere I went, I exceeded pretty much everyone. With my grades, with my performance, with my accomplishments, all of it. I always been advocate for justice and human rights activist from Congress to Senate. I represented 5 federal laws in U.S. Congress, and then I'm doing 4 more on September. Those are one of the major accomplishments that I have. And I've been doing lobbying work in Congress a lot for human rights, gun violence, the job, immigration, the construction industry. I own a construction company myself, and I own a lobbying organization. So all my life I've been advocating and did a lot of humanitarian services as well. Back in Armenia, back in Russia. I just got back from Ukraine. I was there in a war zone for 2 weeks. So I serve people and I love people and I serve people. That's what I can say about me. I have a good education, good background, and I understand the municipal laws a lot. And then that's my passion. And I'm a problem solver. And just because of that, very quick, uh, for me, the way I decided to run for city council, it wasn't just only as a candidate to come and run. My main thing was if I want to run, then I have to bring something that never been done before. So we formed, and I've done a lot of research about the year. And for the last 4 months, I invested my own funds, and then we're developing. We're just about to release a major software for Glendale. It's called Glendale Forward, and Glendale Forward is a civic platform designed for bringing government back to the people, where residents are not just observers but active participants in shaping their city. And Glendale is our city, so I believe the government is the people, and that's how I work on this one. And what Glendale Forward does, it's a core system allows the residents to report issues, track their progress, and access real-time data. about the city and how it's performing. It goes beyond the bond. It goes beyond that. It introduces new level of transparency and civic intelligence by analyzing past decisions and evaluating new proposals, clearly presenting the pros and cons so residents can inform decisions based on fact, not assumption. I've seen a lot of problems on this site because I did a lot of door knocking day and night, and I've seen like I documented problems after problems, and I'm like, if we don't have the hotline such a special system, then we're gonna be always weak, and our progress is gonna be very small numbers, not geometric growth. And I believe Glendale has all the potential to become one of the most safest, most highly desired community in not only California, in United States. But for that, we need society, the community, organizations, everybody to be part of one system that everybody can have a saying there and transparent way to work together. That's why Glendale for what we're building for it. Data-driven system.
So you're muted.
We're going to begin with our first question from our president, Drew Garabedian. Drew.
Hi, Davit. Thank you for joining us today. My first question is in regards to revenue measures to address Glendale's structural budget deficit. Some have proposed placing the following taxes or revenue measures, and I'm wondering if you are for or against the following. Number one, parcel tax. Number two, real estate transfer tax. Number three, a sales tax increase. And number four, vacancy tax on residential or commercial properties. Thank you.
Okay, so do you mind to repeat the question one more time?
No problem. So to address Glendale's projected structural budget deficit, some have proposed placing various revenue measures on the ballot. Would you be in favor of the following measures? Parcel tax, real estate transfer tax, sales tax, or a vacancy tax on residential or commercial properties?
Definitely not. To all of these questions, I would say no. We need to find the alternative ways to bring a revenue to our Glendale, and then I have some great ideas for it, and I want to implement those ones. We cannot tax more already to people when they're paying a lot of, utility bills, which is so expensive right now. The electricity bill is high. The trash, the trash bill is high. So no, I don't want to increase the taxes for them. Moreover, I have ideas how to bring more business to Glendale that it's not a big burden to the citizens. For example, the Los Angeles, Hollywood, every year has 15 million tourists coming there. If we get 5% of that traffic, we will have enough business for the hotels, we will have enough business for the restaurants, and so on and on. And probably you guys don't know, 2 days ago in Hilton Hotel, I'm actually part of the executive vice president of Yesani Sports Club, which is in Glendale, and it's a wrestling, it's a community a place. And in Hilton Hotel, we did just 2 days ago huge competition. It was five belt international kickboxing Muay Thai belt competition, and then 21, 27. And we had 27 other competitors. I'm bringing back to the business sport industry back to the Glendale. I want to make the Glendale as the in this region as the go-to place for the competitions and so on and on. I have great ideas how to bring business, not to put the burden to our citizens. That's what I would say.
All right. Thank you so much. Our next question is going to come from our immediate past president and the current chair for LGLR committee, Eddie Mnatsakanyan. Eddie?
Good afternoon, David.
Hi, good afternoon.
My question to you is regarding council district elections. Do you support or oppose transitioning Glendale from at-large elections to district-based council elections, and why? If you support districts, how many should Glendale have, and what criteria should guide the map? If you oppose districts, how would you address the city's CBRA exposure and the potential litigation cost?
To be honest, I don't support that because I don't support that idea. The main reason is I believe more transparent governments, and then it's gonna, eat more budget. And I think first thing what we need to do in 21st century, because this is a new technology era, we need to actually identify how many employees do we need in city council. And that's why the Glendale Forward is going to respond to that question after we study the data. We need to know how many employees we need to have in the city, how much requests we're getting, and then respond to those ones. And splitting that into different areas, I don't think that's a great idea at all. It's supposed to be where we are, but then we identify how many employees do we need. So cutting them into different departments, I don't like that idea.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to be coming to you from our 2027 president-elect, Susan Brousselian. Susan?
Yeah.
Hi, Davit. Thank you for joining us today. I'm glad we were able
Hi there.
to interview you today. My question is regarding housing types and development. In general, which types of housing development do you believe Glendale should prioritize? Large apartment buildings, mid-scale multifamily developments, ownership housing such as single-family homes, condos, and townhomes, or a mixed balance depending on the location?
I strongly believe that it's supposed to be a balanced mix depending on location. I believe on that one. But it's a higher density housing along transit corridors and commercial zones. Glendale is a family neighborhood, so we need to have both of them. But if we have a good location, it's a proper location to have 8 to 16 units. Definitely I support that. But we need mid-scale multi-unit properties. But I don't want we still need to have also the single houses too. Depends on the location. I support that, of course. We just want to keep the Glendale beauty as it is, and then make it better and better.
So you're for a mixed balance?
Yes, I am. Yes, 100%.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Next question comes to you from our board member, Armik Avedissian. Armik?
Good morning, David, or good
Good morning.
afternoon, sorry.
okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you, yes, sir.
Okay. My question comes in one of those most publicized and questioned issues in Glendale, the bike lane policy. Do you support or oppose removing vehicle lanes to create a bike-only lane in Glendale? If you support the lane reduction, what evidence do you have that voters would agree? And if you oppose lane reduction, what alternative mobility safety improvements would you propose? And thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. This topic is very, very personal to my last two friends, bikers. Car accident happened. I lost two friends. So I do not support to change the vehicle lanes into bike lanes. The bike lane is supposed to be on a secondary lane. We know that reckless driving in Glendale, it's off the roof. And moreover, I want to really control that part. Since I have a law degree, I'm working on the policy and measurement act to control that part. And I'm going to represent that actually in a city too. Well, every Tuesday I'm there, so I'm listening all the sessions, whatever is happening in Glendale. I'm aware of that one. I don't support. I like the expanding the bike infrastructure on secondary streets, but also without jeopardizing the pedestrians' safety and intersection design. This is very, very important for me. We need to have actual data, and I think we're missing a lot of data in Glendale City Hall. We need to have more data accurately to analyze all the systems and not allow bikes every single street because it's not safe for us. It's not safe for our residents. It's going to create a mess, and I don't support that idea.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's go to our Kathy Lefkowitz, who is a member of our LGLR committee. Kathy?
Yes, hello.
Hi there.
My question is concerning publicly owned parking lots. Do you support or oppose developing publicly owned parking lots, such as in Montrose or around the Civic Center, into mixed-use housing? If you support the idea, how will you address parking displacement and protect small business?
I think if we use all the empty spot we have, we're gonna have a major issue because businesses, if we're trying to bring businesses to California, to Glendale, we need to have a parking so people can park. I don't support that idea. I think we still need to preserve some undeveloped lanes we have. But if we need them, we need to use them as a parking lot, but not use the exact existing parking lot into residential properties. I wouldn't do that. I think it's supposed to be balanced because if we bring in business and they cannot park, then we have a major issue. So the residents' rights, their interest is supposed to be priority because if we're giving them quality life, then everybody's going to be happy. So no, I don't support that. It's better to use some undeveloped lanes we have, and then kind of that's a good way to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and the last question for today, Davit, is going to come to you from our current board member and a previous president, Carmen Arom.
Hello, Debbie. Thank you so much for joining
Hi
us.
there.
My question has to deal with rent registry. And here's the question. Do you support or oppose a mandatory rent registry in the city of Glendale? If you support it, what specific data should be collected from the property owners or tenants, and how should sensitive information be protected? If you oppose it, what alternative data sources should the city rely upon for rental market analysis?
My main concern is the privacy data security risk about that and administrative burden on the small property owners. So if pursued, it must, as I answered for that, money will be collect only essential anonymized data and have strict protection for sensitive information, and an alternative the city that can rely on the market data, surveys, and existing reporting tools without regulations. My thing is to simplify every single tools, every single the things is happening inside the Glendale. That every business owner with Glendale will have a cohesive, very professional system. I'm good with the technology, so everything. If I'm elected, what I'm gonna do, because I understand the technology inside out for very, very, very long time. My goal will be to simplify every single step what we're doing in Glendale to simplify the business owners and for residents for the day-to-day activities. So that's my answer for it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right, David, you did very well with your time.
Oh, thank you.
We have some extra time that we can allocate for you to tell us anything that we did not cover and you'd like to mention as your closing statement. Please take 2-3 minutes if you wish.
Perfect.
Right.
First thing I want to say, this is my first time I'm running, and obviously, having a interview like that in this scale where you have 1 minute, 2 minutes, always like pressuring you to kind of respond to all your questions and also your concerns what you have. That's not enough time because you kind of get into stress too. Like you want to say some people want to say the right thing or so on and on. But this is what I want to say. I'm serving people since I'm 13 years old. I have a law degree, I have a psychology degree. And I've been in Congress the day I came to United States, 2006. After 2 months, I was already in Congress advocating for justice. After 1 year in United States, I spoke in Congress and Senate. I was always part of the United Nations, IMF, World Bank, always trying to find the problems to solve and being part of that. Since I moved to Glendale 10 years ago, I came to California. I did the same thing. The reason I decided to run for city council, because I believe I know the knowledge. I have the knowledge. I speak 4 languages, and with that said, I documented a lot of problems, and I was going, if not physically, I was in Glendale City. I was 100% from the home. I was watching other sessions and documented so many problems. And for me to solve these problems, first and most, I needed this Glendale forward infrastructure because Glendale failed to have that as a city. And being a lawyer and having a psychology degree and understanding the people, because for me psychology is very important on this scale, and knowing the technology, I noticed that we're so outdated in Glendale, and we have so much potential to take us to the next level and really be technologically advanced Glendale city, and really that everybody will look at us and then copy us. That's why the Glendale Forward, it's on the rise. We're building it just literally week and a half maximum. We're gonna open the first phase. I believe on this. That's why I invested my own money. That my kids will rise here. I will continue raising my kids here. I'm a single father. My wife died due to cancer 8 years ago, and my oldest daughter, who's 13, she's the #1 golden student. She got the U.S. President Award. I'm a good parent, and I do a lot of projects for the community, from cleaning the parkings, coaching youth in Glendale, and I've done long time, and I understand the business side also, and I'm very good at in finances and statistics and data. So I understood that we needed new infrastructure, but not part of the Glendale City Council, because Glendale, if the government owns this Glendale forward system, what will happen? They can manipulate the numbers, and it's not true. My thing is the people are the government, so that means we need to have a new system. And I understand the law because I already created 5 federal laws in the United States, which I'm advocating for. That 4 will be more on September, which I'm so excited for that actually. And my goal is to have the system that people will own the system always, and will be the most transparent, documented data system where every thing we built here will be transparent for people. And if we want to Glendale to be really professional, attractive for business owners, for families, residents, and secure place, we need that software like that I'm building right now. Without this software, regardless what we do, we're gonna be weaker and weaker, because we are in a system where majority they're using outdated systems. It takes forever to get the construction permits, which is lunatic, to be honest. And moreover, the families, they don't feel secure. I knock a lot of doors. I spoke with people on the street. My main thing was like what people want and what type of change they want. And if we do this change only by promises, it's not going to work. And instead, I'm doing it versus saying about that. I did a huge event which would never happened in Glendale for the long last 20 years. And now we're doing the third one for the sport industry. We're doing the same thing for the coaching kids, the business owners. We're gathering all the business owners now for multiple meetings and forums, systems like that. So my thing is to really impact the people's life, and I have the knowledge, I have the educational background, and I have a desire to do it, and I care about children. And I worked 14 years in the orphanages, senior houses, took care of a lot of senior people, so I understand every segment of the population what they're dealing with, and I have a heart to serve people, and that's what I want to do. And I believe on this race, there's 12 candidates here. I'm sure some people, they believe they're the best candidate for that. But for me, there's only 3 to 4 candidates in my mind that fundamentally is a true candidates to be on this ballot. And the decisions you guys gonna make is not only for your decision, but for the young generation, what we're building for them. Right now, we're missing so many good stuff that had to be done all these years in Glendale. For our youth generation, we don't have it. So I want to build these things. I work in orphanages. I understand how kids think. I build the educational courses for children, 1,024 courses. I compared with my team 250 educational courses, books for the kids to create these courses for them. So I believe I can run Glendale, and then I'm independent. With that said, I'm a truthful person. I'm all into advocacy and truth. So building a software like that is cost me a lot of money, and then I'm still investing on that because I believe we need to be heroes in the future to build something that after us it will sustain, still be transparent, and no one can manipulate that. I feel like every call if the Glendale receives, they can manipulate this number and it's not good. But if it's a software for belongs to people, then nobody can manipulate this one. It's the true information. Now, if we make a list of say, okay, how many problems we have a lot of them. People asking me, what are your top three? I'm sorry, it's not top three, it's a lot. There's people, dying on the streets because of the reckless driving. That's an issue. There's a housing issue. There's utility bills issue. But what Glendale City doing right now, they keep increasing burden into the residents' shoulder. They cannot afford it anymore. I speak with a lot of parents, not only Armenians, anybody, and they say they cannot afford to take their kids places or do activities with their kids. We don't want this. We already have like declining number. People are leaving from Glendale. But I believe with the unity, with transparency, 100% transparency, we can advocate, we can understand exactly what we're missing. Without data, we don't know anything. But the data, Glendale City is not going to release what we want. That's why we need to build it ourselves. That's what Glendale Forward stands for. To build a system that A to Z will be driven by data. We'll use the latest technology. I've been advocating about this technology in Glendale City for freaking 6 months. And anything I say, they don't understand this because they're not tech guys. There are so many things we can automate the process, make it faster for our people. From receiving the request, analyzing, documenting the progress of that one by one. We compare over 50 different interfaces while we're developing this coding section. Over 3 months time for it. And I spent over $40,000 for that alone. Because I believe if we do something great, and that will be the greatest, will bring the greatest results, and our young generation will rely on. Families will love to come and live in Glendale, do business here, because Glendale is in a great location, but we still have a lot of things to worry about. I believe in some areas we have to have high-rise buildings also, which will bring a good colorate for the Glendale. But we need to, I spoke about this actually in Glendale too. We need to have actual data from the police employees and the firefighters. If God forbid something happens, do we have enough water to reach them? The current city councils, when I go them, like I listen to the questions they ask the people when they come with the proposal. It's such a basic questions they ask. No, we need more complex. We need more thinkers who can think more complex way, because asking the basic questions, it shows the level of our intelligence. We need people who understand the municipal laws and understand the human factor of that, and understand the security, safety, and the business side, which is the finances, which I'm very good with finances too. So all my life I've been studying. In the United States, I don't have a degree, but I have a top degree in Armenia, and I was top in the university. 4 years I was student association president, which never happened in my law school. And I'm very, very analytic person, and I'm very, very picky. So if I take something, I finish it. I don't do halfway. And I believe right now, Glendale, what they need a leader that is truthful, is transparent, and is in the people side, because the government is the people, not vice versa. And I hope I can get your vote. I hope I can get your vote, your endorsement, because I'm a truthful person, and I'm always been on the side of the human, of the people, because that's the government. So thank you very much. I hope I can get your endorsement.
Thank you, David. Thank you for being with us. We wish you all the best, and big farewell to you. Have a wonderful afternoon. Take care.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye.